So the CASHCUP are coming back soon and you still don't know how to qualify for the final? Here's the right video. Hi everyone, I'm Fox and today I'm going to explain you from A to Z how to place into the CASHCUP. This kind of videos asks a lot of time, so if this video helped you, you can leave a like to the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of this kind of content. This video is going to take place by the chronological order of a Fortnite game with 3 parts: the early game, the mid game, and the late game. Now, if you're ready, let's go. As you probably saw on the title, on this video, Pixie is going to give you some advice to place in solo. If you don't know Pixie, well, let me introduce him by seeing a picture. If you want to qualify to the next solo CASHCUP like Pixie, stay until the end of the video. And now, here we go to talk about the game. First of all, one thing you need to know: you can't qualify for the first time in a solo CASHCUP without any solo train. If you don't qualify for a solo CASHCUP, you need to rewatch your own games. See why you scuffed in that game, what did this guy all-in do, why did you win the fight, or why didn't you win the fight, etc, etc. Now, let's start with a summary. And let's talk about the early game. And to prepare a good early game, we need to have a fixed landing spot. I made a video about the best landing spots for FNCS, and the spots I've talked about during this video are still pretty good for solos. I just changed a bit. Do not forget the scoring before your competition. It will change your whole game style for the cup. Decisions you will take, the landing spot, your weapon layout, etc. Here with a basic scoring, with way more placement than kills. Also, another little detail, we see a marked difference between the top 10. So, you know, if you're a bit late in the leaderboard, only a win can bring you back to on top. Nothing else to say actually, just saying what part of the game is the most interesting to work, placements or kills. About spots, it depends too much on your playstyle. If I can give you some tips about your landing spot, here's a map cut with 3 zones: close to center, mid-distance, and far away from the center. I guess in that kind of competition the center is too aggressive for almost nothing, because 7 kill for example, a good amount of kill, is only equal to a top 25, and I guess top 25 is way easier with the new surge to reach than 7 kills. I just told it, the new surge is really important to think about it. So, a new spot in the yellow zone can be a huge problem to get surged later, because there isn't that much player in this area, and to find most of people, you need to close to center. Red area is really hard if you aren't a really good player and a really aggressive player, not scared about fighting. So I think the best spots are in the blue area here. About the mid game, nothing is really hard or strategic. You just need to focus on the late game. For every other player who double key all the time, try to get a coach or a friend who doesn't play the CASHCUP to tell you to not double key and to explain why. The only thing you need to be really careful to is to avoid being too late on the zones during your rotates. Being late or being just in time can make you be scuffed really easily. Now, in the late games, in solo you have the choice: or trying to play the heights, or trying to play the low ground, or trying to play the mid ground. In solo, everything is possible, and everything's good. Every position have advantages and disadvantages. Being on the low ground will bring you way more kills, but probably the hardest to go really deep in the game. If you want to master the low ground, Floki is probably the best player to watch and learn from. Being on the mid ground is the easiest way to go deeper in the game, until the top 5. But kills are hard and cost you mats. But you can use the Spider-Man as Slayer. Everyone plays it. Being at the heights is really hard, but you can reach top 5 easily and get many kills. The main difficulty is to take the height and to keep it. If this video reaches 25 likes, I'll upload a video how to master the high ground. In solo, I think the mid ground is the most interesting, especially if you want to play Spider-Man gloves. Why? Just because it's the only layer where the Spider-Man gloves is the most interesting and is the most powerful. On the low ground, that's too hard to stay at the low ground, and you can be sprayed easily. At the heights, you can't really grapple above you, and on the mid ground, you can go everywhere you want. Now we are hitting the end of the video. So I led with Pixie advice to play in solo, and I'm going to develop it a bit. If you're bad at fighting, Pixie advises you to focus the late game. Why? Just because the late game is the easiest way to get kills. Everyone is low. We need to focus the zone because the storm makes too much damage. So they are less attentive, and you can beam one to death easily. What's more, going to late game, you get as placements, points you wouldn't get as skill. If you're good at fighting, you still need to play for the end games, of course. Because as we saw previously, the scoring advantage way more the top 10. So, the placement. But you can use your confidence in fight to get some points before the late game and have a refresh before to start it. So you'll be able to get a good late game with more mats and more heals. Well, I hope I managed to explain you a bit what to do to place in solo competitions on Fortnite. Don't hesitate to leave a like and to comment to support my work. If you have any other question, comments are made for it. I'm gonna answer to everyone. Having said that, I wish you a good day and see you next week.